guys, and welcome back to my channel. Today I thought that we would go ahead and review and do a demo of the new Huda Beauty Pretty Grunge eyeshadow palette. It does retail for $69 and you can get it on Sephora's website or Huda Beauty's website. This palette is limited edition like a lot of her other 15pan palettes. There are also some other items that came in this collection. I did not pick those up. I just picked up the eyeshadow palette because I knew that's what I would get the most use out of. This is what the outer packaging looks like. Let's go ahead and take her out. So this is what the outer packaging looks like. The Pretty Grunge is written out here in mirror. And then on the inside here you have 15 beautiful shades. There are 11 mattes in here, as well as a combination of 6 shimmers and multi-chrome foils. And this palette is pretty versatile with the color story. You could use this for anything from an everyday look to a super smoky, grungy eyeshadow look for an evening out. So today I thought that we would do 2 looks with this palette. I thought we would do an everyday look and then do another look that's more smoky, a little bit darker, that could be for an event or a date night out or just really anything special, or for every day if you want something like that for every day. So I thought that we would keep the everyday look that we're going to do first pretty simple and just use a couple of shades and a shimmer just as something that you can throw on super quick and get out the door but still look pulled together. So the first shade that I want to get into is this one up here, which is called Liberty. And I'm just going into that with my BK Beauty 201 brush. We're going to use this as our transition shade. And per usual, these shadows are very, very pigmented. So I'm just using circular motions and windshield wiper motions to get that blended out. This blended out so easily. Go ahead and do that to the other eye. Moving on to my right eye, we're just going to go ahead and do the same thing. So windshield wiper motions, circular motions, just to get this transition shade blended out here into the crease and a little above the crease. So next, just to add a little bit more dimension to the eyelid, I'm going to go into the shade right under that first one into this one right here called Rise Up. And I'm just going to keep using the same brush that I used for my transition shade. But this I'm going to work on just packing it. Actually, you know what? So I'm going to go ahead and use the Makeup by Mario E3 brush. This will allow me to pack that color on at an angle here on this outer third of the eyelid. And then after I get that packed on, I will go ahead and use some circular motions and just bring that up a little bit into the crease. I really just want to deepen things up because I really do like this peach shade that we used here for our transition shade. So I'm just packing on a little bit more shadow here until I am happy with how deep this is. Okay. I'm just blending out the edges of that. And taking that into the crease just ever so slightly just to tie it into that transition shade. So now let's go ahead and do the same thing to the other eye. So if you ever notice me looking down to the right, I'm just looking into my monitor. so I can see that. So I'm going to put the shimmer on, and then I will go ahead and go in and do my lower lash line. That's typically how I do everything. I do top lid first, and then go ahead and repeat the same steps basically, or, you know, something similar along my lower lash line there. Okay, so normally I use my finger to apply my shimmers. However, because I already have my base on and I typically do eyeshadow first and then base makeup, I'm going to go ahead and use a just a shading brush like this one from the Morphe by Ariel collection. It's pretty good for packing on shimmer shades. And then I'm just going to control as much fallout as I can, I'm just gonna go ahead and spray this with just a little Max Fix Plus, and then go ahead and start applying this. Ooh, that is gorgeous. This swatched on my arm is so wet looking, so I know on here it definitely looks wet because I used a spray on the brush. However, if you swatch this shade, you will see that it swatches dry just the same. So I'm taking this almost to the edge of the outer top eyelid here. I will go ahead and go back in with that shade Rise Up to blend these edges in a little bit. I don't want to take it quite the whole way across the top shade and lose that more brown shade and only have just the peach and the shimmer. So I'm just going to go ahead and repeat the same process on the other eyelid. So I'm just going back over this side to make sure both sides look even to me, as they do. So now I'm just going to go back into that Makeup by Mario E3 brush. I'm just going to lightly go into that Rise Up shade, and I'm just going to blend that into the shimmer shade. I'm going to go ahead into the lower lash line and start getting that blended out. So I think I'm just going to take my Morphe 321 brush. So let's go in again back into that top shade here called Liberty. And I'm just going to run this the whole way across that lower lash line. And blend that up and out into that top lid area. Concealer. So I think we're going to keep the lower lash line pretty simple. So again, just going in first here on this lower lash line with Liberty. And blending that out the whole way across. And then up into the upper eyelid. So I think then what I'm going to do is take a liner brush and go into the shade Hope here and just run this across the lower lash line, like right up against the lashes, almost to get like a liner look. Now, and take some shadow on just a flat pencil brush and run that along the lower lash line here right up against the lashes and just kind of wiggle that in. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead into the left eye. So I'm really liking how that came out for just an everyday look. So let's go ahead and finish things off with mascara. I have been loving this new Cali Ray Come Hell or High Water mascara. This stuff, I don't even know. I was so into the Bite Beauty mascara and was absolutely devastated when they went out of business and everything was 50% off. So I picked up 10 tubes of their mascara because I couldn't find anything that came close. I love the brush. I love the formula. Now this brush is different. It's not that hourglass shaped brush. It's a straight brush, but the formula, it's still a very good brush, but the formula is absolutely amazing. And I would say the formula rivals the formula of Bite Beauty. This is definitely the closest thing that I have found to the Bite Beauty mascara. Sorry, I can't talk and put mascara on at the same time. So I'm just going to run this along that lower lash line. So I'm just going to line my lips. I'm going in with Charlotte Tilbury in Iconic Nude. So I watched a video recently on how you have an inner lip line. So your inner lip line is going to be like right here where there's still like the inside of the pigment. And then your outer lip line is going to be like the little ridge on the outside of your lip. So you can see here the ridge. So I was watching her do her lip lining, and what she was doing was on the outer portions of each of her lips, she was lining on that inner lip line. I'm not doing that today because it's something I'm still practicing because it's very precise. And then the rest of her lips, she did that upper lip line here on the outside edge of that, so that it makes from like here to here look more pouty and more full. Let me know if any of you guys have tried that out, or if you made a video or saw a video on it. Link that below in the comments for me. I would love to watch more while I experiment with that new technique. I'm always up for learning new makeup techniques that cause an optical illusion, if you will, of sorts. And I'm going to go in with the Huda Beauty cream lipstick in Honey Bun. It's more of a peachy shade that I thought would go well with this eye look. Love that together. I'm going to go ahead and take off this eye look and this lip, and then we'll come back and do a more smoky eye look with this palette. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and jump back in and do a second look. We're going to do a deeper, more smoky look with this second look. So using my color switch, I'm going to keep the same brushes. So for our transition shade, we're going to go ahead and jump into this color here called Freedom. So I'm just going to, again with the windshield wiper motions and circular motions, just go ahead and get this blended into the crease and above the crease, again leaving a little room up there for a brow highlight at the very end. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and do the same thing over on my other eye here. Again, windshield wiper motions and circular motions to just get that transition shade blended in to the crease and just above the crease, as well as just the very outer edge of the eye. So I'm going to go ahead and jump in and deepen things up a bit. And I'm going to go into this shade up here called Brave, which when swatched basically looks like just a deeper version of this shade. So more of like a brown mauve kind of shade. I'm going to go back into my Makeup by Mario E3 brush to go ahead and pack that on and then blend it. Because we're going to keep this, we'll deepen the outer V a little bit more than this, but this is going to kind of come a little further into the crease than what we did with the previous look, where we just used the two matte shades and brought it into the crease a little bit. This one I'm going to go ahead and bring in pretty much the whole way. And I do like to use the second shade to start deepening up that outer V and then just slowly blend it into the crease towards the inner corner of the eye, just using circular motions. Okay, so I'm just going to go back into Brave here and do the same thing to the right eye. Okay, so now we're really going to deepen things up in that outer V of the top eyelid. And so I'm going to jump into this shade here called Fearless. I might have called Brave Fearless. If I did, I apologize. The shade we were just using was in fact the shade Brave. And now we're going to go ahead into this more darker mauve tone that is called Fearless. So I'm not going to go crazy with this, but I do want to get this deepened up out here. So first, packing it on. And almost making a V shape with it. And then I'm going to go back in and kind of just do like straight back and forth motions to blend that, to keep that sort of V shape, if you will. Bring it in here in the middle a little bit. And then up here I will do some circular motions just because we want that to blend into those other two colors. And I like how that looks together. So just jumping back into Fearless. And again, just tapping motions to pack this on at first. Along that lower lash line there. And then we're going to bring it up into the crease ever so slightly to create that V-like shape. Now I'm going to go ahead and kind of, like I said, just do the back and forth motions at the bottom here. And then up here do more circular motions. Okay, so I'm pretty happy with how this is looking as far as depth. So after doing all the swatches, I did decide that I want to go back into the same shimmer here called Stand Up. I just feel like that matches the color scheme of what we have going on the best. All of the other shimmers are very, very silvery and really light, and I want to keep this a little more sultry versus disco ballish, if you will, for lack of a better definition. And this duochrome here is beautiful, but I feel like it's going to, you know what, let's do that on the center of the eyelid. And then we'll use Stand Up on the inner portion. So I'm just going to use my finger to apply this just in the center portion here of the eyelid, just taking it out to meet that Fearless color. And we'll blend those two together here in a minute. It's so pretty. You can see the shift of the color. It does lean more purple and pink, but if you catch the, I don't know, I don't think it's a trio chrome. I think it is just a duochrome, but I don't know. In some lighting, it almost looks like you get a little bit of a hint of green. take stand up on a dry brush and see how that packs on dry and blends in to I'm just ever so slightly going over the edge of that duochrome called Haphazard. I'm going to get a little more stand up for just on the very, very, very inner corner here. And I'm kind of wiggling it back and forth to kind of get that wet look you get when you apply more pressure. So that blended look, that's really pretty. Okay, that's much more smoky and nighttime, which is what I was going for. So I am really liking that ombre effect. Sometimes even when I do the ombre effect, I will take the lighter shade and kind of, I don't want to ruin the look here, but I'll kind of run it along the lash line a little bit further over. And it just gives a little bit more of a pop closer to your eyeball. And I'm actually loving, I'm glad I did that duochrome, because with my eyes that are hazel but tend to lean more green, purples always make my eyelids pop. Okay, so I'm very happy with that upper eyelid. So I'm going to go ahead and just do the lower lash line. I'm just jumping in with Brave to smudge right along the lower lash line, all the way from the outer corner to the very inner corner of the eye. I'm going to just do the same thing on the other eye. Okay, so next I'm going to take my BK Beauty 207 brush, and I am going to jump into the second shade that we used here, which was called Fearless. I'm going to take that closer. I'm going to take that a little bit closer to the lash line and not diffuse it out quite as much as I did with Brave. Brave goes a little further down my lower lid than this will. This is literally right along the lashes, but not as precise as it would be with a pencil brush. The last thing I want to do, just because we are doing a more smoky look here, is take my liner brush again, and I'm going to go into the darkest shade that we used here, and I'm actually going to mix it with a little bit of Nirvana here, just for a little bit of a deeper shade. Just wiggling it back and forth along the lower lash line just to get it right into those lashes. So I'm liking how that has turned out. I really like the depth of that lower lash line. It looks very blown out and just dark and smoky and all the fun things for a great night out on the town or some sort of special event. I'll have to keep this in mind and look maybe for our next date night when we go into the city. So we live in Pittsburgh, where it's freezing currently, per usual in the winter time. You would think living here my whole life I would be used to that, but nope, never will be. But we don't always go we live a little north of the city, so we don't always go into the city to go do stuff because there's so much to do around us where we live that it's not always necessary. But sometimes we'll go watch a show or a performance, or just go to a special restaurant, or you know, there's just a little bit more to do down there that's kind of different than the stuff that you get in the suburbs. Okay, so for my inner corner highlight and my brow highlight, I'm actually going to jump into my favorite Bobbi Brown highlighter, which is the one in Pink Glow, and it looks like this. So let's go ahead and finish things off with mascara. A lot of times I do 2 coats, but if I'm in a hurry, 1 coat gets the job done. And if you do the whole wiggle and slide with your mascara wand, it'll put an even thicker layer on there for you that almost looks like it's 2 coats. Okay, then for lips, and I'm just going to go into the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude Bullett lipstick. Mine is very well loved, as well as the I Need a Nude lip pencil that I need to sharpen. Hold please. Okay, I am back with a freshly sharpened I Need a Nude Lip Crayon from Natasha Denona. So I'm just going to go ahead and go in and line the lips with this. Filling in almost all of the lips, majority of it, but not quite all of it. Okay, and that is this second eye look along with the lip color to go with it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I really enjoyed making it for you and playing with the new Huda Beauty Pretty Grunge palette. Let me know if you plan on picking it up. Let me know if you'd like to see some more looks. There's certainly a lot more looks that could come from this palette. I just wanted to do one everyday look and one smoky look to kind of give you a couple of ideas. Also, if there are any reviews that you want to see, any demos that you want to see, anything that you want to see related to beauty, to skincare, to hair care, body care, any of that, please let me know down in the comments. I would love for you to leave me video ideas. I have a ton planned, but I'm always open for new and just different ideas because I love creating this content. It is so much fun for me to do, and I love putting the content out there, and I can't wait to fill up my channel with lots and lots of videos that I know you all will just love. So again, any feedback, any requests, leave that down below in the comments. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and hit the bell so that you receive notifications for all of my future videos so you don't miss any. And that's it for today's, guys. I will see you next time. Bye.